What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I am excited to be here today. I am going to explore this Perdomo Habano with you today. This is the Maduro. It is a 6x60 Gordo. It says on here that it is a Perdomo Habano, and then it's a BBA. I don't know what that means, but I could think of some things it might mean, but I'm not going to say it. Let's get this thing opened up. Get it out of the cellophane here. Take a look at this thing. Oh, wow. Just leather, dark roasted coffee beans, tobacco. Smells fantastic. It's got a beautiful cigar band on it. I've been holding on to this for a few weeks now, so just looking for the right time to smoke it. And that time is now. I have also got a whiskey pairing to go with it today that is also kind of special, at least for some of us. I've got a whiskey that not all of us can get readily all the time, so I'm excited to try that as well. Let's get it cut. This is, of course, a Nicaraguan stick. And this is a 6-year aged tobaccos, fillers inside this. And then the leaf wrapper here is aged for 6 years in a bourbon barrel. And they're rolled up, and who knows what happens to them, and then eventually they get to me. So this was a $12 stick. I expect it to be worth every single penny. The cold draw, just more cocoa, dark roast coffee, and then that leathery, earthy tobacco that you get from Maduros. All right, we're gonna take this foot band off of here. I see a little hole there, kinda. See that? You expect perfection with these Perdomos. I'm sure that's not gonna mean anything though. All right, let's get this off of here. Comes right off, no issues at all. All right, let me get this thing going before I introduce us to that whiskey that we have today. So we're gonna get this thing toasted up and lit. What's everybody up to today? It's a beautiful day where I'm at. I hope it's beautiful where you are. Hope you're having a great day. Leave me a comment, let me know what you're drinking, what you're smoking. I love hearing from you. All right, we're toasted up nice. Here's that cut end. Perfect. Cigar is very stiff. Not much spring in it at all. All right, here we go. Oh, it's so good. So rich. Just such a rich product, the quality of this thing. I had someone leave a comment on one of my videos that they prefer when it's not windy when they smoke cigars. I would concur. I agree with that. I'd prefer it not be windy as well. But it is what it is. It's still beautiful out here. I'm not going to not smoke just because the wind's blowing. Wow. I've had the sun grown in this. This is the first Habano Maduro I've had. I definitely did not pick a weak size. This 6x60 is quite a big size stick. Oh, it's just so rich. You just get that cocoa and that earth, leather, tobacco. I'm getting some cedar, some wood. To me, I'm detecting cedar. The retrohale's nice. It's not too strong. That's where you get a lot of that chocolate, that dark cocoa note. No sweetness, just the sort of cocoa-ness to it. You know, very, very mild. Nothing chocolatey about this cigar. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. All right, let's get our second guest out. It's got something kind of special for some of us. Today we've got Buffalo Trace, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So this is difficult for some people to find. Other people have no problems with it whatsoever. Where I live, it is only available once or twice per year, and it is in the store for 15 seconds until it's all sold. I see this anywhere from 25, 26 bucks, you know, in liquor stores, other places, obviously not in Pennsylvania. But I paid 40 for this bottle because I had somebody pick this up for me. I believe it was Maryland, and it was not MSRP. There was a markup on this bottle. I think it was about a $10 markup. So typically this bottle would be between 25 and 35. Some people really like this stuff. I had it before. I think it's fine. I don't think it's below average. I think it was a $40 bottle. We're going to find out here. Let's do a cork pull. Not too bad. Love that sound. All right. Cork back in there. Cork has Buffalo Trace written on it. Buffalo Trace Distillery. And don't get me wrong, Buffalo Trace is one of the best distilleries in the world. I mean, you can only make bourbon in America. This isn't technically, oh yes it is, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. I said it earlier, this is bourbon. So you couldn't make this anywhere else anyway, but this is, the stuff that they're putting out of this place is just amazing. I'm just gonna get a little nose on it till we go back to the cigar. Oh, yeah. It has a distinct smell. I think if you put this and a couple other things in front of me, you know, that weren't from that distillery, I'd be able to tell you that this was at least from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. It just has this little, for lack of a better word, because this isn't really the word I want to use, but it's like a twang. Just has a little bit of an edge on it. It smells like bourbon. All right. I'll forget about the star of the show here. Where do you guys live? Is Buffalo Trace available where you live? I know I watch a couple guys on YouTube. Some of them, there's stacks of it in the liquor stores. They go in, they can't give the stuff away. And then some places, like where I live, you just can't find it. You can't order it. I mean, you can order it from out of state liquor places, but then you're paying the premium. Really like MSRP. I'm an MSRP guy. Or below. I don't think not wanting to get ripped off makes you cheap, but leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Am I being cheap? I'm going to talk about these Perdomos a little bit more today. So I've had almost everything that they offer besides the 30th. So, you know, this opinion may change, but the 10th anniversaries are my favorite. And then the 20th anniversaries come in second place. These Habanos are third. And then the lot 23s are fourth. And it goes in price just coincidentally. The 10th and 20th are about 13 bucks, 12, 13 bucks. These, you know, 11, 12. And then the lot 23s are, you know, 9 or 10. So it goes in order of pricing, but that's not why I picked them like that. I just give you my honest opinion of which ones I think are the best. And the anniversaries, which kind of makes sense, except, this is a big push for the barrel, bourbon barrel aged stuff. Nick Perdomo, the founder, the owner, CEO of Perdomo Cigars, he loves bourbon and scotch. So I hope one day, if they haven't, they may have done this already, and I'm just new to this whole thing, they come out with a scotch aged cigar, a leaf that they age in a scotch barrel. That would be cool. Just something different, And as we know, I'm a big fan, so anything they put out, I'll give a try. I'm going to get those 30th soon. And who knows, those 30th can be the best, but that 10th, the 10th anniversary champagne is one of the best cigars I've ever had in my life. It is a Connecticut wrapper. It is so silky smooth and creamy and nutty. It's making my mouth water. I'm not taking anything away from this Maduro, but whew, wow, that thing was killer. That might be my favorite cigar in the whole Perdomo line. That's tough to pick one, but that one's right up there. This thing is just gorgeous. I love the gauge on this too. I love the 60 gauge. It's ridiculously big, It's an hour plus smoke, even for a fast smoker like me. It's just so pretty. It feels so nice. It's a little textured. It's not silky smooth, but it's still nice. It's a nice flat leaf. The cigar band is gorgeous, obviously. And even the thing you're going to take off before you light it is beautiful. I love the lions on there. Maduro. People ask me too about my cutter. This is a cheap, I think this was $5. It might have been 10. It is a Vertigo brand. It's a double guillotine, but it is what they call a perfecto cutter, because you cannot stick the cigar in too far. That's why when you see me cut a Bellicoso or a Torpedo, I cut it 4, 5, 6 times. I can easily pick up another guillotine. This one works great. I like it. I don't really mind snipping it a couple extra times. It doesn't damage the cigar. That also allows me to sort of go and clip it and look, and make sure it's the shape I want, the gauge for the mouth. These Perdomos, I'm jumping around a little bit, but these Perdomos, the way the cap is on these things is perfect. You can see when you snip it with that Perfecto cutter, you still have, excuse that spit, you still have that edge curling over, which is, not necessary, but, it's a nice little luxury thing where you're almost guaranteed not to get any tobacco in your mouth ever. Wow. That thing is so good. All right. Let's had some time to breathe. Not a lot of time, but a little. Let's check it out. I've drank this neat plenty of times in a bar. This is the first bottle I ever got my hands on. Just happened to have a friend who was in Maryland. I'm 99% sure it was Maryland. It was either Maryland or New York, but I think it was Maryland. And he saw it, didn't even ask me, he just brought it to me. And here's $40, and I was happy. So let's give it a go. So bourbon connoisseurs, people who are much better at tasting, drinking, knowing about bourbon than me, will say to let the first sip coat your palate, and then the second sip is the truly real sip to get the real flavor. Actually, I'm not going to tell you what I got on the first one because it's not supposed to count. Let me do a second one, and then I'll let you know. Okay, so the number one thing that I'm getting out of that right away is cherry. And like cherry candy. Like a cherry hard candy that you would kind of suck on in your mouth. It doesn't stay. It leaves almost instantly. But it's delightful. And then you're left with that sweet caramel and vanilla and typical bourbon stuff. So it's not overwhelming cherry or anything. I do smell wood too. Definitely wood. Yeah. Yeah, cherry right out the gate there. And then it goes away. So I don't know how you feel about that. I think it's fantastic. I think it's delightful. I purposely was saving this cigar for something that I thought would go great with it, and when I got the Buffalo Trace, I knew right away. Whoa. Got a friend. Hey, who could blame him? Or, you got nice bourbon and a nice cigar here. Who wouldn't want some of that action? Like I said earlier, I had the sun-grown Habano. I definitely like this one more. I definitely lean towards one or the other. I lean towards the Maduros or the Connecticut's. Sun-grown's fine. I got no problem with the sun-grown stuff. If you said you can only smoke 2 out of 3 the rest of your life, I'm throwing the sun-grown right in the trash. And maybe from inexperience, there might be sun-grown cigars that would blow all these cigars away that I have never had. But for me, and then I can't pick between the Connecticut and the Maduro because it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm in the mood for, like today I was in the mood for the Maduro. I couldn't wait to get out here to smoke this thing. And then there's other days where I'm like, Maduro, I really want something a little bit. I don't like to use the term lighter either. I like to use the term creamier because this seems more rich and dark. And the Connecticut's or Champagne and the 10th anniversaries, the way that's described, I love that description of it too. They're more creamy and light. So it just depends on what you're in the mood for, in my opinion, between those two. Draw on this is fantastic. It's drawn perfectly. It's burning almost completely evenly. It's a little uneven. I'm not spinning it as much as I usually do. I'm turn it upside down like this. Typically when you smoke, that bee just will not leave me alone. Typically when you smoke a cigar, the part that's going to burn the quickest is the part that's at the top when you draw it. Especially with a premium, high-quality cigar. That's really what's supposed to happen. So I have this cigar, really a friend. I made a new friend. I might name him. That's how much he likes me. So like this one here, see, this is burning. Get out of here. I'm not allergic. I'm not scared of bees, and it might look like it right now, but I just don't want to get stung, especially on camera. That would be pretty awkward. All right, so I put this part at the bottom, the part that's burning more, and then this part at the top, the part that's burning less. Let's see if this holds true at all. Can't really tell. By no means am I complaining about how this thing's burning either. It's literally making my mouth water as I smoke it. It's got a nice tight ash like they always do. Not really a big leave the country guy to go on vacation or anything like that. I would like to get a couple places outside of the U.S. that I haven't been before, and one of them is Nicaragua. I'd love to go tour his facilities down there. I guess I could start with Miami first. Go to his offices and his retail stores. He's in Miami. It's open to the public. You can walk in, buy a stick, take the tour, maybe meet him if he's there. I don't know how that works. You know, these cigar guys, they're not like famous like celebrities and stuff. You know, in the cigar world, he's super famous, Nick Perdomo, but I'm sure he would shake your hand and talk to you for a few minutes if you ran into him. It's spicy too. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. It's a little spicy. I'm getting a spice on my tongue, back of my throat when I retro. Not overwhelming though. I mean, he blends these sticks to be not overwhelming. He doesn't want to blow you away. Saw some interviews with him where he talks about that. He's not interested in punching you in the face with one of these Maduros. He wants to make it an enjoyable smoke that you can come back to again and again and not be, intimidated, especially if you're a newer smoker. Another interesting thing that I just thought of that he said was when somebody, a friend of his, whatever, wants to get into cigars, he doesn't give them the weakest, cigar, Connecticut, or he doesn't give them one of those to start. He gives them something like this because he says it's better to go into it with some oomph. That way the next stick you smoke, maybe he's not around and you go to a cigar shop and you end up with something like this, it doesn't sort of scare you away. That's an interesting theory because to me, if I would, without him saying that, now he has me thinking, it's good to think. He has me thinking, but without him saying that, I would have never, like if somebody came over here to Cigar Exploration Headquarters and I was going to offer them a stick, I would pull 3 or 4 of my lightest ones out, the ones that I've smoked that I felt were, mild to medium at best. This is a medium to full, easily. I would give somebody as mild of a cigar as I possibly could pull out of one of my jars or one of my things I store them in. I wouldn't give them something like this because I would be afraid they'd light it up, take 2 puffs, and say, here, take this. It's too much for me. I can't smoke it. Maybe when you're a cigar manufacturer, you can afford to give somebody a stick that they might waste. I don't know. And again, not that I can't afford it, it's just that I wouldn't want it to get wasted. I have never wasted a cigar, unless it wouldn't draw. There's been a few cigars I smoked that were on the budget end, less expensive end, that wouldn't draw. So those I didn't smoke. But a little story for you, a little bit of regret on that. So I keep trashing the Trader Jack's, and I'm still not a fan. But I had one Trader Jack's left. out of 20. There was one, and I literally just had it sitting at my desk, at my work desk, and I just had it sitting there because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't want to light it up and get disappointed, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it sit here. And 2 weeks went by, and so the other night, I think it was actually two nights ago, I was like looking for something to smoke quick, and I thought, I'm just gonna take this stick out back and just see. I fired it up. I didn't squeeze it because I was afraid it was going to crack because it was sitting out. It wasn't even in a container. It had no humidification at all. And I lit that stick up, and it was stale. It was a little stale. It wasn't unsmokable, but it was a little stale. But it had a draw, a great draw. Had a draw like these do, like a quality stick would. So I'm still not recommending those, but I think that if you do get your hands on stuff that doesn't draw, let it sit out for a week or two. The worst thing that can happen is you're going to get a slightly stale stick. It didn't burn super fast. It didn't crack and fall apart. Nothing. When I cut it, it didn't crack. The cap didn't crack. It was fine. And I smoked most of it, about 3/4 of it, at least 2/3. But you shouldn't have to do that. I just think that those sticks are way over humidified. They don't want you to end up with a dry cigar, a stale cigar. But if you can't smoke it, then it doesn't matter. So you might as well have it be under humidified and a little dry and stale. At least then you could, I got some enjoyment out of it. Not like this, not even close to this, but I got some enjoyment out of it. All right, let's go back to this allocated in some states bourbon. That's a dumb word too, allocated. Let's just call it hard to find if you live where I live. There's probably somebody watching this going, I got that all day, every day at my liquor store, and I can get it anytime I want. There's probably somebody that drinks it so much or drank it so much they're sick of it. Let me know if I nailed the whole cherry thing, because that's all I'm getting. It's either a cherry sort of cough syrup or a cherry hard candy. It's got this iconic buffalo on the label. And the back label gives you a bunch of information. 90 proof, distilled and aged by Buffalo Trace, who makes Blanton's and Weller's and Pappy Van Winkle and all those crazy sought after brands. Almost, I wanted to say Elmer Fudd. What is it? Elmer T. Lee? Is that what it is? I can't remember now. But yeah, they make lots of stuff. And everything they make is good, in my opinion. Call that phone number. Go on their website. Like I said, plastic, real cork, but, right? Real cork? No, a plastic cork. That's kind of disappointing. A synthetic cork, plastic cork. Yeah, a nice little top of the cap there, though. All plastic. I was watching a guy do a review for Weller 12 year, and it had a literal screw top on it. So that doesn't really matter. It just adds a little bit of classiness. It's kind of like the foot band on them, Just adds a little touch of classiness. Doesn't do anything for the product itself. Wow, this thing is just so good. Oh, wow. Clear skies, premium cigars, good bourbon. Not much more you could ask for. Doesn't get much better. Yeah. Got about an inch. May have underestimated the smoke time for this thing. This may be more like an hour and a half. I have been talking a lot, so I had a Buffalo Trace cigar a couple of weeks ago, and got some comments that I should have smoked it with a Buffalo Trace bourbon, but I didn't have it then. I just got it about a week ago, and I will get my hands on another Buffalo Trace cigar and at least save a little of this to try it with the cigar, just to say I did it. I might make a video about it, share it with you guys, but no reason to wait. I thought this would pair perfect with this, and like usual, it does. Yeah, I really like the retro on this. Some comments about retro hail too. That's just, you are not inhaling cigars. I mean, I don't recommend it. They aren't good for you no matter how you smoke a cigar. It's not a health food. It's not a healthy smoke. There is no such thing. But if you don't inhale it, it's supposedly a lot less bad for you. And it seems a little harsh to inhale. But when you retro, you're not inhaling. It's not a French inhale. I don't know if anybody's ever seen anybody do that. I can't do that. I wouldn't even try. French inhale is where you take it from your mouth into your nose, and then you inhale it and then blow it back out of your mouth. You take a drag, and then when it comes out your mouth, you suck it in through your nose. That's like a reverse. It's like a reverse retro. But when you retro, you just take it into your mouth. And you just push it up into your nasal cavity and out your nose. It took me a little while to get that. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't hard for me to figure it out. But if you're having trouble with it, just take your time. Just go slow. Pick something that's not real harsh so you don't get turned off to it. It's definitely a good part of the experience. You're going to detect things that otherwise maybe you wouldn't. And if you don't care for it, don't do it. Just like there's a lot of channels on YouTube, and I really do subscribe to the idea that you should smoke the way you want, drink the way you want. If you drink Buffalo Trace, if it's hard to get where you live, and you drink it with cola, that's your call. It's your life. It's your whatever you enjoy. If you don't like whiskey neat, don't drink it neat. This is the only way I drink whiskey. unless it's in an old-fashioned. I mean, again, talking about going out somewhere, paying money for something, I drink it neat or an old-fashioned. If I come over to your house or whatever, or we go out and you say you got to try this whiskey sour, or you got to try this particular whiskey mixed with soda, or however you drink it, I'm not gonna say I would try it. I'm not against stuff. I just at this point in my life, I know what I like. There's lots of other glasses too. These are the Glencairn glasses. I really like these. I'm kind of a less is more guy. I don't need 6 cutters. I don't need 6 different kinds of glasses. I've got a couple different lighters, but I've match lit cigars on this channel, cedar lit, Bic lighter, not just butane lighters. And then I know the sky's the limit with all that stuff. There's literally hundreds of different styles of lighters and cutters and everything else. If you've been watching my channel, I messed around with the V-cut a little bit. I just don't think it's even as good. It's definitely not better than a straight cut, but I don't think it's as good. One thing I've never done is punch cut a cigar. I don't think you get as good of a draw on a punch cut. On a high quality cigar like this, it might be fine. Someday I will do it. I've been to cigar lounges, cigar bars where they have punch cutters available. I don't really like to use cutters other people use in public. Because I don't know. It's just seems like kind of a little bit of an unnecessary thing to use the same cutter that somebody may have used after the cigar was in their mouth. But I don't know. I'll be making a video soon on boxes of cigars. Just my opinion on how I feel about buying boxes of cigars. Look for that video. I also found cigarillos or little cigars that I really like. I'm going to make a video about that as well. And then I've got more Perdomo and some other things as well coming. So keep checking back. Subscribe if you're not subscribed so you don't miss any of that stuff. If you enjoy this content, hit the like button. I appreciate it. I'm not in this for monetary purposes. I do enjoy and appreciate watching my channel grow. It is growing little bitty steps at a time. I get a new subscriber every day, and that just makes me feel like doing this is worth it. I do this, well, it started out really for me, and after reading comments and writing people back and talking to people, and there's people in other countries watching my content, which is just not even something I thought about. Never did I think I'd have people watching me in Serbia or Egypt or Cape Town, South Africa, or any of these other places that you're watching from. Didn't even cross my mind. I just assumed that, I know YouTube is a thing worldwide, I get that, but I just assumed nobody would watch it other places. So if you're watching anywhere besides here, if you're watching here, I appreciate it too, but if you're watching other places, it blows my mind that you're watching my content. And leave me a comment, let me know where you're watching it from. A lot of people from the UK too. A lot of people from the UK. I appreciate everybody though, whether you're here in Pennsylvania where I am, in the States where Pennsylvania is, or in the world. Anywhere in the world you are, if you're enjoying this content, it means the world to me. So it started out where it was just really about me, sort of enjoying myself, having a cigar. Because I didn't start making content right away. I smoked a couple cigars and then I started videoing it because I thought, why not? See if people like it. But now it's really morphed into sort of enjoying my time with you, knowing that you're watching this. and that you're enjoying it as well. So. Might be about a third of the way through this. Forget to take deep breaths when you smoke cigars. I've said that before too. I feel like it cleanses your palate. Getting some good fresh air in there. It's about 80 degrees here where I live. That's why I'm sitting in the shade right now. It's a little warm in the sun. What a great pair. I know you're probably sick of hearing me say that, but really, this is such a great pair together. What are some other YouTube channels you guys like? I've been watching this guy, and I mentioned him in another video, Pick Jimmy, and that's the name of the channel, Pick Jimmy, Jimi, and he put out a video today or yesterday. I didn't even realize this, but I guess he's never taken off his sunglasses in his videos. I think he likes to be called DJ. So DJ, I don't think you're going to see this content. I don't think he watches my channel, but if you do, I didn't even know that was a thing. I now realize that every video he has sunglasses on. He has almost 10,000 subscribers, and he put out a video today or yesterday asking if he gets to 10,000 or when he gets to 10,000 subscribers, should he take his sunglasses off? I don't think I'll ever have 10,000 subscribers, but I don't know what I would do if I did. I'll chug a bottle of bourbon on camera. I don't know. I don't know what to say that I would do. That would be outrageous. I don't think taking your sunglasses off is that outrageous, but I guess if we've never seen his eyes, maybe people care about that. I don't know. He smoked a lot more cigars than me, has a lot more subscribers, and probably knows a lot more than I do, so who am I to judge or criticize? If anybody out there is close to me too, like like we don't have to get on airplanes, I'd love to make a video with other cigar smokers. I mentioned in other videos and comments that if anybody ever wants to meet up at Cigars International, I would love to meet some of you guys, smoke a stick with you, have a drink. That would be great. I think it's amazing that that even goes down, that people even do that stuff, that something like making a video on YouTube could bring complete strangers together with, the love of the leaf, something that you have in common. Supposedly something like 1 or 2% of the adult population smokes premium cigars. That's it. It seems really low to me. But then I do look around and talk to people, and I don't know a lot of people that smoke premium cigars. I just don't know a lot. My brother smokes premium cigars, but not daily like I do. He's more of a weekly. He has one a week, which is fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with, if you have one a year, that's great. But I just don't know a lot of people that are into cigars like this. Now that I am into them, I don't know how more people aren't. I literally just got something different from this stick. I just got that nuttiness that I've described on tons of other cigars. That was like a cashew. Yeah, there it is. So a third in, I'm now getting some cashew on this thing. Another thing that I have not gotten from a cigar that I've heard other people describe is that barnyard style, where the cigar almost tastes like manure, like hay, manure. Like if you were walking through a farm, the smells you get are in the sticks. I don't know if I've just wasn't able to pick up on that when I smoked one, or if I've never had a cigar that has that note. It doesn't sound very nice. Where I live, I mentioned, in Pennsylvania, we have lots of cows here, and in the springtime, you will smell manure. You walk out, I don't care where you live, you're gonna smell it. I grew up with it. I've been in Pennsylvania my whole life. I grew up here. So it doesn't bother me. It's not like I'm excited when I smell it. I'm not happy about it, but it never once did I recall, disgusted by it. So I'm getting it and not knowing it, or, and if I haven't been getting it and not, and I ever do, I'll let you know. And I'll let you know if it bothers me, but, I'm smelling it when it doesn't bother me, and I never smoked it. So I don't know what it's like to smoke it, but I've heard that described from quite a few YouTubers, that they call it a barnyard note in a stick. Have you ever had that? Have you ever experienced what's described as a barnyard sort of, I hate to use the word, but manure kind of flavor? It's a great thing about cigar exploration. I feel like you're never really done. Like with anything else, any other hobby or love that you have in your life, passion, find something you really enjoy. Don't ever stop discovering and learning. I've just recently been starting to sort of chew the smoke, it's called, where you put the smoke in your mouth and you kind of chew on it. I may have been doing that and not knowing it, but I'm trying to get everything out of each cigar that I can. And that's one of the things that they talk about as well. Just took that part of the cap leaf off that I've talked about before, where if you don't cut it deep enough, you'll get that extra little piece. Peels right off. I didn't even have to rip it. I think that's a good sign of a good quality cigar, good roll job. The cashew's amazing in here now. It's fantastic when you find something new while you're smoking a cigar like that. I was watching an old movie. I think it was last night, and it was Big Trouble in Little China. It's a John Carpenter movie. It's actually free on YouTube right now. It has ads and stuff, unless you have a different setup on YouTube. I don't know what your setups are, but I know they have ad-free YouTube. But it's about an hour and a half and stars Kurt Russell. It's one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. It's just so good, you know, just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie. But in the movie, there's like these three guys who are like have superpowers. And the one guy, at one point, they have these like crazy outfits on, look like Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And the one guy at one point, he's smoking a cigar. The one bad guy, you know, one of the three bad guys. He has a cigar in his hand. And he's doing something, and he tricks the good guys, and he like gasses them, like knocks them out with, I don't know, knockout gas, we'll call it. And he's, you know, he has a longer, I want it like a Churchill, you know, big cigar. It has no band on it, no cigar band. And he's smoking it, and when he's done tricking them, I was so happy when I saw him smoking it. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like things you don't pick up on when you're a kid. And he has, you know, it's still long. He only has a little bit of it smoked. And when he's done tricking them, he like just throws the cigar. Like it's almost as if the cigar was just part of the trick, so they wouldn't know he was the special warrior that has all these special powers. It was like part of his disguise because he's wearing a suit. You know, they have these crazy outfits on, and then when he tricks them, he's wearing a suit and tie, and he has the cigar, and he kind of like throws it in disgust. And I was like, damn, I was like, that stinks. Like he had me excited about the fact that he was a cigar smoker, and then he just chucks it like almost in disgust. Like he didn't really want it to begin with. He was just using it as like a tool. And I just thought that was pretty interesting. How do you guys feel about these longer videos? You want to see more of these? I'm sure most people have already turned this video off. Hopefully some of you are enjoying a nice stick, hanging in there with me. But I have a tendency to make the videos a little shorter just because I feel like people aren't going to stick around. There's a few on my channel that are this long. If you like this, let me know. I'll try to make longer videos if that's something you guys are into. If anybody knows what this means too, let me know. I'm assuming that says Esteli Habana. That's a quick Google search for me to find out, but if you know what that means, let me know. Somebody's building something or fixing something. Cherry is so pronounced. We're about halfway. I could tell before I even lit it that I was going to be sad when it was gone, so it is it's hanging in there, that's for sure. Finally starting to get a little softer. The heat is working its way up here. The cigar band is still on the cigar. It's not loose. If there was any doubt that this is a $12 cigar, don't doubt it. It's definitely worth 12 bucks. This could easily be a more expensive cigar. That's what led me to Perdomo, though. You know, the quality, first and foremost. You know, the draw, the flavor, the construction. And then, secondly, the price point. It's nice when you feel like you've got a good value. Now it's like a little bit of a burnt cashew, like a little bit of a roasted cashew, as opposed to just sort of a raw. The spice has not gotten more intense. It's the same as when we started. I've had 3 friends. I had a yellow jacket friend, like a carpenter bee, bumblebee friend, and now that was a black hornet, black and white striped hornet. So maybe I am scared of bees. I don't know. You be the judge. Does it taste different right out of the bottle? Let's find out. Doesn't taste as good. You don't get as much out of just the bottle. Put a little more in the glass. Let's do it like this time. Yeah, I think you definitely get more in a glass. You get a little air in there. Just wiping the bottle on my sleeve so it doesn't drip down everywhere and make it all sticky and weird. Maybe less bees will come. I don't know. The ancient paths of countless buffalo led America westward. Legendary explorers, pioneers, and settlers alike followed these trails, known as traces, through rugged wilderness to new lands, new adventures, and newfound freedom. One such trace, called the Great Buffalo Trace, crossed the Kentucky River at a spot just north of present-day Frankfort, where this is made. The early pioneers settled here in 1775, and with plentiful pure limestone water and rich river bottom loam for growing exceptional grains, distillation quickly followed, with an unparalleled reputation for creating outstanding bourbon whiskey. The Buffalo Trace Distillery today stands as one of America's oldest distilling sites. The bold heritage of the mighty buffalo and the individuality and pioneering spirit of those early Americans are again found in Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the very finest bourbon created at the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Traditionally handcrafted, Buffalo Trace has a smooth, confident taste that invites discovery with every sip. Explore Buffalo Trace and taste the spirit of legends. Reading was never really one of my strong points. More of a math guy. Wow, it's good. Good stuff. All right. Time to remove this beautiful cigar band off of here. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not time. It is really stuck. All right, we'll give it another minute. I want to rip it. You can see right there where it's really stuck. I don't keep the cigar bands, but I still like when they come off clean. This thing does not want to come off here. It's not anything negative about the cigar, but come on, baby. Here, look, it's just ripping the whole. Here we go. Back to business. Business of enjoying a fantastic Habano. Maduro cigar. The leaf did, or the cigar band removal did no damage to the cigar at all. It's tough to see, but here we go. Trying to scare the wildlife away, blow smoke at them. That usually works. I'm just so tempted. You see me picking at this. I'm just so tempted to pick this little, but I don't want to mess anything up. The leaf is just so nice. I love that. I love putting the leaf in my mouth and my lips. Spinning it in my lips. Just sort of enjoying that leaf. So good. See, it's getting a little squishier. Not squishy, but a little softer. A lot of heat. Yeah, by no means is this the best bourbon I've had, but it's good. I can't lie. I think if you have something often, you maybe lose the quality that you first got in it. So cigars, whiskey, same thing. If you drink and smoke this same thing every day or every week, you probably get used to it and you don't appreciate it as much. Last time I had Buffalo Trace was in a local restaurant here, and I think they wanted $11 a pour. So, you know, they're probably getting those bottles for 30 or under. You know, what a profit on that. There's nothing like profit on liquor, man. Share a little secret with you guys, because whoever's here still, you deserve a secret for hanging in this long. I've got a bottle of something even more special that I got as well, and I've got another Perdomo, and I'm gonna break that bottle out with an even more special Perdomo. This one's great. This one was fantastic, or is fantastic, but I got something even better coming down the line. And I've still got some other things too from Perdomo I want to try. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff happening. I haven't even gotten into the chocolate thing. A lot of guys and girls, they pair chocolate with their cigars and bourbons. I don't even mess with it. So that's a whole other aspect. If you've been watching my channel too, you know I just drink bourbon and rye whiskey. I haven't even touched scotch. Scotch is a whole other ball game. You know, there's peated scotch. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what peated even means. It's something to do with the mash bill, I think. I think it means it's a little spicier. I think these Habanos are a little bit more full-bodied. Give you a little something. It must be that barrel, that barrel aged tobaccos and leaves. Give it a little bit more oomph. This thing's going from a medium body to full. It's now starting to get a little spicier. We're getting into the last third here. See the drool? It's so good. It just juicifies my mouth. Sorry if that bothers anybody, but I can't help it. What about food pairings? Do you guys like to eat something specific and then smoke a cigar? Do you like to smoke a cigar and then eat something specific? I found a hamburger is good. I feel like eating something sort of rich, grilled vegetables, steaks, fish, anything like that. You eat that, then smoke the cigar. It just adds another element to the flavor of the cigar. And your body chemistry has something to do with this too. Smoking something like this on a full stomach, or at least with something in your stomach, is recommended. Stuff's blowing away. I like smoking cigars at night too. I don't typically make videos at night because the camera light is just horrible. If you watched my La Historia video, my dusk smoke with that, it starts out like this. You can see me, and by the end, when it's dark, you can barely see me at all. But the reason I like it is because when you smoke a cigar at night, you can really see it burning the leaf. It really burns the leaf, and it's really neat how it, when you're not puffing on it, how it just burns the edge of it, and it's lit up because it's nighttime. Hope everybody's taking care of themselves and each other. It's more important than ever. When I was younger, I thought the world was about as messed up as it was going to be. You know, I lived through 9/11, and I thought that was the pinnacle of messed upness, but it turns out it's not. We may just be getting started. So it is more important than ever to take care of ourselves and each other. Which is why I'd like to meet some of you guys. I'd like to meet up with some subscribers and smoke a stick and just sort of get to know you guys a little bit better. Maybe you have enough friends and you're not interested in that. That's okay too. And if you do have someone, even if it's one person that you can, sit with once a week and enjoy a cigar with them, that's fantastic. I just haven't found that person right now to sit there with. Like I said, I just don't know anybody that smokes premium cigars all the time. I do appreciate that I can smoke a cigar with my brother, though. Usually him and I will go get something to eat, then get over there to Legacy Cigar Lounge, my local cigar lounge over in West Reading. Usually get something to eat and then go over there and smoke a stick. The owner of that place is just so cool, man. You can just tell he's not trying to rip anybody off. He seems like a legitimate, hardworking businessman and woman. His wife and him have the place together, and it's just nice to hang with people like that. He's the one that introduced me to the LFD, La Flor Dominica, Chapter 1 cigar. He's the one that recommended it. It's one of my favorite Maduros. I've smoked 2 of those on this channel before. I'll definitely smoke more of those. Just can't seem to find them anywhere right now. I did get a comment from the owner of a cigar store. I believe it's in Ohio. And he said they're in stock. You know, basically come get them. Trouble is, I'm not driving to Ohio to get those cigars. So when there's more around here available, I'll definitely pick more up. Well, certainly not disappointed in the length of this smoke. This thing is just going and going. I'm a fast smoker, but I've been smoking this thing a little slower. Probably more along the lines of what an average smoker would do. But we're working on, got about 80 minutes on this cigar. This may be the longest cigar I've ever smoked, as far as time-wise. Again, a 6x60 Gordo, not small. This thing is a size that you should spend some time with, that's for sure. Let's take a look at my lighter. This is a inexpensive butane lighter. I've showed this on my channel before. It is adjustable. Flames are adjustable. That's how I burned my Buffalo Trace cigar to pieces the other week. I had this thing out at that cigar lounge, and I was letting people use it. And they had the flame up so high that I didn't realize it. And I went to light my Buffalo Trace cigar. I burned the heck out of it. But it's nice because the well here is, you can see how much fluid's in it easily. And when it gets down to, you know, just below or just at the end of that right here, you know, then you need to fill it up. But, excuse me, easy to fill. This lighter was like 10 bucks. Has this little cap. You want to cover the end of it up. It's a nice and expensive lighter. I think I got that at Walmart. I was looking for budget cigars, and my Walmart has a tiny little budget cigar area. They sell accessories and budget cigars, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got that. It was definitely under 10 bucks. I know the sky's the limit on lighters and cutters. You know, you can spend 150 bucks on a lighter. Probably, and actually, I'm lying. I'm totally lying. You can spend $5 on a lighter, you know, a butane lighter, up till, you know, they sell $10,000 lighters. I don't know who's buying a $10,000 lighter. If you have a lighter, make a video about it or send me a picture of it or something. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it in action. I'm sure there's a reason that they're so expensive. They probably last a lifetime. I'm sure that one will, you know, break sooner than later. Where's this thing made? It's made in China. It works really good though. You hear that popping in the background? There's a shooting range right by my house. So I hear gunshots all the time. It's like where I live, it's like small engines, like lawnmowers, leaf blowers, and gunshots. And cow manure. Don't forget that one. You can't hear the cow manure, but you can smell it. Getting down to what I would consider the nub. Definitely the last third. Not much has changed. A little spicier. Got that cashew. Still cocoa, leather, tobacco, earth. Typical Maduro stuff. If you're still here, thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed some time with me. I know I enjoyed this time tremendously. Nothing more relaxing for me. Smoking a good cigar, having some whiskey, hanging out with you guys. Keep checking back. I have a lot more stuff for you guys coming up soon, okay? Cheers to you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.